You never think anything's going to happen to you, you know, and then your life changes in a second. Your life changes. Yeah, I was taking a load of milk down to Leprino. It was a cheese plant. It was the last load, and I was late. You know, I was just in a hurry, and I just stupid. I didn't have a seatbelt on. I cut a corner, and I couldn't tell for sure if there was a car there. But then I thought there was a car, so I just moved the truck just a little bit, and I felt a weight shift. That's all I remember.
We got dispatched for a scene response to Newfield, New York for a 18-wheeler rollover. It was a milk truck. Ended up landing in the roadway. My partner and I had to walk about a quarter mile or so from the landing zone to the actual scene itself where the patient was.
As we get closer, there's an ambulance parked right next to the 18-wheeler that rolled over, and we notice it's in the front yard of a house and didn't miss the house by much.
And then I remember not feeling anything. I just remember somebody tugging on my feet and somebody saying, "I've got his head."
He was found laying in a snowbank, still inside the cab, with his upper body through the windshield and his lower body through the rear window of the cab. And he just couldn't breathe. He said he couldn't breathe, he couldn't breathe, he couldn't breathe. His vital signs trended down a little bit, and we ended up actually taking a needle and sticking it in his chest wall, because we ended up finding that he had both of his lungs collapsed. Once we did that, we got the whoosh of air and all his vitals improved at that point. So to us, he stabilized out.
And we loaded him in the helicopter, and as we're taking off, we're putting him on the ventilator.
Going by ground ambulance from where we were at was probably, you're looking at a 45-minute transport time in the back of an ambulance to an appropriate facility. So 45 minutes by ground, and it took us 12 to 15 by helicopter. Got him into the trauma room, put him on their stretcher, and they took over from there.
And then I woke up in ICU and had tubes down. A doctor that was doing rounds, he said, "Tell me what happened." And I said, "Well, I screwed up." And he says, "No." He says, "You're here."
We were able to see him right away, and amazingly, considering the fact that he had been unconscious, he was not unconscious when we saw him. So that was a great relief. He could recognize us, and he had a lot of tubes in his mouth, and he couldn't speak. And the main thing he wanted was the tubes out.
The fact that the helicopter raced me to the hospital counted, you know. Matt's and Justin's actions as paramedics, and as well Bang's paramedics and the fire department, all these actions counted, and it was like they were all angels.
So I saw Bob a couple of days after he had his accident. So he was still in the critically acute phase of, you know, his trauma. He was pretty sick. He definitely is one of the worst traumas that I've ever seen personally.
I think people who see him as his physicians as well as friends are amazed that he's doing as well as he is.
In the 12 years I've been in New York working, that's the first time it's ever happened, so it was kind of nice. Sent thank you letters to us and notes, and he stopped by. It's kind of nice seeing people that actually appreciate what we do.
I'm feeling good about seeing them today. I think it'll be great to see his progress since we saw him the day of the trauma.
He's just such a nice person. He's got so much gratitude toward everything that everyone's done for him, and you know, gratitude that he continues to be able to live and do what he can do every day.
Part of his healing is the joy of sharing the rescue, and that there are wonderful people in the health field and in Guthrie and Guthrie Air who did so much for him.
A great service. Yeah, you can't put a price on a life. You can't. Thankfully, because of you guys, I'm still here, so I can still plan things. And so many people don't get that chance.